Yeah, very safely done. But Wim will be hoping that's not the shape of things to come. He had too many 9 spares in his first round match. You won't want another collection of those, because it might not be enough against Paul Moore.
Well, I suppose he thought he was up against it, playing against Linda Barnes, but he was fortunate enough to come through victorious over her in the first round. But fancy winning through and then coming against Paul Moore. Crikey, what a reward that is.
The local man from Willoughby, just outside Hull, no more than 25-30 miles from Barnsley. Nice easy journey here to the Metrodome for him, and a nice start to his quarter-final as well. And the big cheer goes up. That is what you call home support.
Yeah, nice looking shot from Paul as an opener. Lots of rotation on that ball, and at the break point it rips up into the 1 and the 2 pin, which is the strike pocket for both these left-handers.
For a big fella, Wim really has a very smooth approach. He's got those long arms and legs, of course. You almost look and watch for him to get tangled up as he leaves himself another 9 spare. But Wim's approach is very compact and economical and smooth.
Being a very tall man, he can get right down to the line. He's got that deep knee bend, but he can't actually hold it for very long. He has to come up quite quickly off after the release, and that may well affect his game just a little bit. Over 7 feet tall, and doesn't rush himself, I noticed.
Yeah, very few of these bowlers do. But Wim, I'm sure, is looking and saying, well, hang on a minute, I had 9 spares in my first round match, and I've started out this match with a couple of 9 spares as well. You won't want this to carry on.
No, of course, and if it does carry on making just the 9s, he's going to have to sort of redirect his ball and perhaps try a different line, a different bit of setup on the approach, and hit with a different angle, maybe a different velocity, just to try and make the 10 pins. Well, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. Paul, on the other hand, struck in frame 1 and is already looking for his first double.
And nailed it. When Paul gets online, it really is scary.
European number 1, fantastic high roller, superstar of the European Weber Cup team. Looks quite relaxed, doesn't he?
He's the quiet one of his family. His brother's a bit of a exhibitionist, I guess is the word. He's an entertainer and a singer, and has made several TV appearances of his own. Paul restricts his TV appearances to bowling. You wouldn't get him up on a stage with a microphone in his hand by choice. But he lets his bowling ball do his talking for him. And Wim has carried all 10 this time, so he's getting his act together.
10-pin Masters. This is Paul Moore against Wim van der Veen. We join the action in the 3rd frame of the opening game. Commentary from Cass Edwards and Nick Halling.
And Wim has carried all 10 this time, so he's getting his act together as his wife looks on.
Yeah, much better shot from Wim. Carried all 10 on there off nice pocket hit. Nick, obviously these guys know they're playing one another, but at the same time it's the lane that they need to overcome. They will need to beat the lane, and if they can beat the lane, they're going to be in the high 200s, 240s perhaps, and hopefully that'll be a winning score.
Wim's got his wife here. Paul's parents are here somewhere, but it's such a big crowd, I can't actually find where they are. But I was going to say they'll be the ones leading the cheers, and there's lots to cheer about. 3 in a row for Paul Moore.
Three identical shots, 3 identical results. Bonus pins on each of those strikes, so 30 pins in frame 1.
It's a very assured start from Paul Moore. There's always a danger when you know who you're going to meet in the semi-finals, and Paul knows he's meeting Jens. There's a danger of not concentrating on the job in hand and planning for a semi-final that may never happen. First you've got to take care of business, and Paul looks very focused for this one, as he needs to be against Wim. Van der Veen's looking for a double himself and has just pushed it outside the pocket again and has to settle for yet another 9 spare.
Just another 6 minutes. Nick, the point you made, I totally agree with you. It could be that Paul is actually looking for that semi-final match against Jens Nicol already. But he mustn't lose his concentration on this one. Just play his A game, keep focused in. I suppose on paper you could put him down as the favourite, but as we've said before, in a 2-game shootout, it could be anybody's match.
So Wim staying clean, but you saw him bowling at single pins in his warm-up, and that kind of sent the message right there, didn't it? The Dutchman thought he might have to deal with a few of those 9 spares, and 3 out of 4 already for him. Keeps him in touch with Paul Moore, but when Paul continues to strike, every time Wim leaves a single pin standing, he's slipping further and further behind.
Yes, of course, all the players in the tournament are sort of natural strike makers, and feel as though that when it comes to hitting 5 or 6 in a row, they're the ones to do it. And
that's 4 in a row.
Fantastic reaction for Paul Moore there. Sort of 8 people left standing, but only for a fraction of a second. Got himself a bit of a messenger flying across the pin deck. Great reaction here, and there it is. And that's 4 strikes in a row. Great body language as well.
Yeah, he's not guilty of looking on ahead, Jens Nicol, is he? He's very much focused on the job in hand here, Paul Moore. That's obvious from this sizzling start. And because of all those 9 spares, Wim's already 41 pins adrift. Needs the lot. And that is really rotten luck. He's left himself a baby split.
Yeah, it's a very awkward one. It's the 6 pin and the 8 pin. This is a typical left-hander's leave off of a ball that's just high on the head pin, doesn't quite break them up. Now this is makeable, but Wim's got to get that 16-pound bowling ball to the right-hand side of this 6-pinner, chip it across.
Couldn't dig it out, open frame. And that could be really costly if Paul can bang in another strike here. Wim's going to be a long way adrift halfway through this first game. And of greater concern to Wim than the open frame is the fact that he can't find strikes.
Well, it is a concern because, well, you've seen what the opponent's scored already. Wim's very much aware of that. And without strikes, he's going to be left way behind.
Well, can Paul Moore keep his streak going? He has 4 in a row. He now has 5. He's in there like swimwear.
Well spotted, Nick. The old swimwear shot yet again. Classic looking strike from the left hander, steady at the line. Fantastic rotation on that ball and absolutely rips the rack. Sets up the chain reaction amongst the pins. Carries all 10.
Right, Wim's got that open frame to erase, and he does. He's got a strike, and that's absolutely what he needed. But Wim is in deep trouble here.
Well, he hasn't been far away from the pocket and the head pin on every shot. He just hasn't carried all 10, and his last shot with that split was slightly unfortunate, but he's back on song with this one. But he certainly has to turn that strike into a double and that double into a turkey just to stay in his first